Well, good morning, everybody. I'm glad to be here with you. My name is Peter Phillips. Today I am in Central Florida in a little town called Melbourne. So I'm hoping if you get a chance later on, you will Google Melbourne, Florida. And it's just a small Central Florida town that is very much part of the news now, partly because of the election, but also partly because of COVID-19 and its impact on obviously the whole country, but definitely Florida has also been one of those high points. Okay, so my goal today is to really begin a conversation with you around leadership. Yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted to let you know that, okay, those who have joined today, a few of them did attend last time. So yes, so that, yes,
I didn't know.
Yes, so a few of them did attend last time too, but it's okay. That's also okay. Somebody is coming to join. So there are people who are there. Okay, so let's go ahead. So,
well, give me a sense in terms of numbers, because again, I don't want to.
Right. So now, right now, right. Okay. So, yeah, so right now we have two students who one from Tunisia and the other one from UAE who've been in our program, but the rest of them are all new. So we have, as of now, we have about 10 of them who've joined, 10 from 10 different countries. So let's, yes, go ahead. So we can just go ahead.
Right. Okay. So my apologies then to the two who may have experienced last week. This is going to be very much a repeat of that, but developing your leadership skills is really an ongoing opportunity. So you guys will be subject matter experts this week. So definitely looking for you to chime in, what it is that you've learned since last week. But also I don't want to miss the opportunity for our students who are attending today. Because I think this is really a starting point. All of us will play an important role in leading and managing our own lives, and as you become adults, you will impact not only yourself, you will impact others. Yeah, but the most important thing you have to do in managing others is learn to manage yourself well. Yeah. So today I want to have a conversation with you about what are those values, what are those traits, what are those strengths that make good leaders. Yeah.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Petter. Hi, George.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, girlfriend.
Thank you. Well, last time we talked about leadership, and we talked about the values of leadership, which are about integrity, accountability, inclusiveness, diversity, innovation, collaboration, and being a fun person.
Awesome. Excellent. All right.
Thank you. Just to remind.
Okay, good. I like that. Awesome.
Thank you.
And so as we discuss leadership, and especially again for the new participants this week, I want to give you the opportunity. I'm hoping that again, in all your individual settings, you're familiar with one another. You're in typically in a usual class with schoolmates that who know you very well. Okay, but also collectively you know each other well. All right. So this is really an opportunity for you to have a conversation with my help, with each other, about how you see and how you define leadership. Okay. So first question I'm going to ask you again in your individual teams, and George, I'm going to ask you to guide me accordingly. I'm making an assumption on my end that there are groups of young people in a room with a teacher, possibly.
That's right.
Who's going to try and help guide their conversation. All right?
Yeah.
So the first part of the conversation then is, when I say leadership, what is it that comes to mind for you? Okay.
So we could offer this opportunity to the students from Botswana. If somebody, what you could do here is, if there is a student who would like to come forward and speak, yes, go ahead. And meanwhile, we do have participants from Nigeria. We do have participants from from Turkey. So feel free to go ahead and share your thoughts.
I think leadership is a unique role someone is given so that they can make rules for other people so that they must follow them and stay in order.
Okay. So a leader is leadership is someone who's given a role, and they are responsible for controlling and managing others. Okay, all right. Any others?
Yes, Mr. Peter, it's me.
Okay.
Can I give my point?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. Being a good leader means to be honest and trustful, a person who always keeps his words, and a sociable person at the same time who does not get confused when he speaks in front of a group of people, and someone who's responsible for his actions.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. So someone who's trustworthy. Yeah?
Yes. Yes,
Someone,
trustworthy.
okay. Someone who can stand up in front of a group of people and give them directions, right?
Yes, and talks without hesitation.
Okay. And someone who gets, yeah. Okay.
Okay, I hear somebody is speaking out there in the thing. I'm not sure who it is that. Wait a minute. Okay, just I am trying to mute. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so leadership essentially is all of the things that you have mentioned. But as I said, really from the outset, you know, the leadership isn't just about leading others, right? Leadership, I always say primarily, is really about how you manage yourself. Yeah. So if you lead and manage yourself well, you will be better positioned to lead and manage others. Okay. So when you talk about being trustworthy, you have to be trustworthy to yourself first. Okay. So if you're not being trustworthy with yourself, if you're not being honest with yourself, okay, that wouldn't be leadership for you or indeed anybody else. Okay. Sociable, yes, you have to be able to get along. You need to be able to connect with people. You need to be able to motivate people. All those are important skills that a leader needs to possess. Yeah. To be able to stand up in front of a group of people. Okay. All of you one day will apply for a job. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a political leader. Okay. But you need to be able to stand up, whether it's going to college, whether it's to get into college. Yeah. Okay. You would have to go through an interview process in order to secure that college placement, right? So you'll have to develop those skills as a good leader. All those are leadership skills for you as an individual before you actually start to lead anybody else. Does that make sense? I'm sure you're all saying yes, okay?
Well,
so today,
I have muted the mics of everybody, so it's kind of yes.
Okay. All right, well, you can nod.
I cannot.
Okay, so today I really want to go kind of in depth into a set of leadership values, okay, that I think that it's important for you to embrace because I believe as young people, you're already leaders, okay? If you're going to be successful in school, your leadership journey has started already, okay? And if it hasn't, you're gonna have to play catch up, all right? Because your primary responsibility as a leader, okay, is to graduate high school right now, or today, get through the school day successfully, or get through the school year with the grades that you're looking for, or the exams that you're going to take. All right, all those are going to be the same leadership skills, assets, and values that you need to develop in order to be a success. Okay, So today I want to share, as I said, a set of values with you. And but before I do, I want your understanding of what is values. What does values mean to you? So again, if you can have some small conversation in your classrooms, define values.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, for me, values will be said to be a set of belief that one is guided by. So your set of beliefs defines your value, and that affects every other thing you do. Thank you.
And can you give us an example of a value?
For example, you want people to be truthful. You know, you talked about integrity, you talked about honesty. You know, so you need to be honest to be able to deal with the next person in an honest way as well.
Right.
You know, and also values, belief also has to do with our religious orientation. You know, as a Christian, I'm influenced by Christian doctrines, and I'm sure also Muslim and other religions are also influenced by their doctrine, and that tends to want to define the way they do certain things, why they don't do certain things.
Excellent, thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I see a student from Botswana coming forward. Go ahead. And please do come close to the mic, as close as possible to the microphone, and speak.
Okay, but I think a values are principles and beliefs of what is wrong and right.
Okay. Okay. Can you give me an example of a value that's wrong and right for you?
Okay. What I think is right to me is, okay, for me, a value I normally think about is like obeying your parents, and then that's the right value. And then the wrong value is teaching school.
Okay, good. Thank you. Anybody else? Excellent.
Can I express my point, please?
Feel free. And then afterwards, yeah, go ahead.
Do you want me to give examples like of the most important things, like the most important values for a human right?
Yes, go ahead.
About that? Is it about that?
Yeah, I would like you to relate it to yourself as much as you can as well, though.
Okay, well, I see from my position, the most important thing to me as a teenage, well, it's going to school, learning, have knowledge, and also people have to let me express my point of view in life in whatever subject it is. And also I have the freedom to do whatever I want in some specific frames, I mean.
So let's clarify that a little bit more. You're saying you have the right to do whatever you want?
Not all whatever I want. I mean something proper. I mean something formal.
Okay. So I'm trying to get you to express that a little bit more clearly as a value. What specifically is the value you're expressing?
Well, I just need the knowledge, expressing myself in the society.
Mm-hmm.
People have to respect me as a human being. That's it.
All right. So that's, and again, what I'm trying to get you to understand is, values apply to you, but they also apply to other people as you relate to them.
Yes, I see that the knowledge is the most important thing, which is
No.
common between me
Okay.
and people.
Right. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Was there another person, George?
Yes,
Otherwise
the Botswana school had, they were planning to have the student, if they're ready, go ahead, speak.
My expression of values is that you should be given as much freedom as possible as a child, but not a lot of freedom, but enough freedom to learn right and wrong in your own way. Not that parents always have to teach you everything, because one day your parents are not going to be there. So values are there to teach you the right and wrong in the world. So that's my view of this.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so one of the values I want you to consider is, how would I express this? Many of the values you just shared talked about self-expression. Yeah, talked about the freedom to learn, to be able to make mistakes. It sounds like as well. Yes, within reason. Yeah. So one of the things I want you to think about is a word that I value, which is to be able to focus on what your assets are. Okay, and by that I mean, in order to be a good leader, whether you're leading yourself or others, you have to focus in on what are the strengths of the individual or the team that I'm working with. Okay, so for example, if I use a sport analogy, okay, all of us aren't good at everything, are we? Yeah, even in your class right now, okay, there's some people who's going to be good or better at certain things in that it comes naturally to them, or that they are motivated and work harder to get better results for this particular area. So we have different abilities, is the point I'm trying to make. Not all of us are good at math in the same way. Not all of us are good at language skills in the same way. Not all of us are good at history in the same way. And if we're playing a sport, whether it's soccer, whether it's basketball, we all don't have the same talents in the same area on the field, right? And in fact, if we did, we wouldn't be a very good team. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's important that we understand whether we're leading ourselves or whether we're part of a team, to focus in on what the assets are of the individual and the collective team is. All right. So if I asked you, what are your assets? Okay, what would you tell me?
Well, Mr. Peter, as a student, I've choose math section, and everybody knows in maths, we know that there is two angles which are complementary. Okay, do you know what I mean with complementary?
Yes.
So everyone has his uniqueness and has something special in himself, and we all complement ourselves with just one thing. You know, you're special in something, and I'm special in specific other thing, and we all are one thing together. Okay.
Absolutely. Very good.
So this is. Thank you.
Anyone else? What are your assets?
If anybody would like to speak, you could also raise your hand so that I could prompt.
Okay, no one else? Okay.
Yeah, I don't see anything. Go ahead.
Okay, good. So again, I want to make sure you understand what assets are. Assets are things that you are good at, or that people around you or people who make up your team are good at, okay? So for example, if you're on a soccer team, you're not gonna put your goalkeeper who catches the ball well and can dive well, okay, to be your striker, the person who scores the goals, all right? And you're not gonna put your striker to do the goalkeeper's job, yeah? You're not gonna have a successful team. So you need to recognize what you as an individual is good at, okay? But in working with other people, you need to know what are they good at, so you can get the best out of them, and they can play the most valuable part on your team or in your partnership or in your organization. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's what it means to focus on assets. So good leaders don't focus in on your weaknesses or things that you're not good at. They focus in on what you're good at. Okay, doesn't mean that they forget the things that you're bad at, because they need to know and understand those too, all right? But they really want to focus in on the stuff that you're good at, because that's how they get the best out of you. Okay, and good leaders, okay, want to celebrate the things that you're good at, because those are the things that they're going to need to be a successful organization. Those are the assets that they're going to need to be a successful team, all right? So even in your family situation, okay, there's going to be brothers and sisters. They're not all the same. They may be loved the same, but they all bring different things to that whole family experience. All right. So that's what you need to. That's the value, an important value for leaders to have. Look at your team. Look at your partner. Even in a relationship. Okay. Everybody's not going to be good at the same thing. Okay, even a husband and wife have to acknowledge, okay, some people do some things better than the other, all right? And once you
say something, Mr. Peter.
Yes,
what a good leader is, when he confesses what he's bad at also. I know, yes, it's one thing which is good in a good leader, okay?
Right.
When he confesses what he's bad at, because a good leader also always try to improve his personality.
Right, but that also allows you as a leader or a teammate to be able to say, okay, where are the areas where we need to fill this gap that this leader has in order for this to be a successful team, successful organization, successful relationship. Okay. All right, moving on. So focus on assets, very important value for leaders. Collaboration. I think that's another important value. What is collaboration? Can anyone tell me what's collaboration for you? Tell me how you collaborate.
If I may speak.
Sure.
Ability to be able to to share your strength and work with others on the same objective or purpose.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anybody else? What's collaboration to you? Tell me how you collaborate.
I think collaboration is working together towards a common goal.
Absolutely. Can you tell me how you collaborate?
I collaborate by sharing what I have with others for what I want from them.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Okay. There anybody wants to talk?
Okay. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, like I like to look at it from a project perspective. You know, I have a project and well spent goals and activities and all of that. I don't have the funding to execute. and I identify a partner that shares the same goals with me, and he becomes my funding partner. So that's the example I would like to share. Because we have some projects and you have some donors that are just set out to support such objectives. So in that way, they bring in their financial resources, while you bring in your intellectual capital to work together.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah. Collaborative leadership is a management practice in which members on leadership team work together across sectors to make decisions and keep their organization thriving.
Excellent. Tell me how you collaborate.
Well, when I work with a team, we have to be creative people, and everyone has his idea. Like this, we could do something special.
Okay, very good. So again, you know, that's the real benefit of collaboration, yeah? Is that you're not operating on your own in your own mindset. You have the opportunity to actually broaden your ideas, broaden your solutions, be creative, to really come up with some smart solutions to a challenge that you might have. Yeah. So the opportunity.
So it won't be a burden on your shoulders, on your own shoulders.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, very much again connected to focusing on assets. If you're working on a project and don't have all the resources that you need, and you can partner with someone else, as was described previously, okay, the opportunity to share resources or bring new resources to the table, share ideas, okay, and come up with more creative solutions than you probably could have by yourself is going to be an important success. So again, collaboration as a value for leaders, okay? No point, you know, not being a good collaborator if you have to work on a team, all right? If you're working by yourself and it only requires yourself to achieve this goal, then you might be okay, all right? But any problem shared is a problem halved, I always say. So, you know, collaboration, again, is an important value, but an important skill that you need to develop as an effective leader. Okay.
The Botswana School, do you have anything that you would like to say?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd say collaboration is to be able to work with someone to accomplish a certain goal.
Very good. Yes. Can you tell me how you collaborate?
I would collaborate by, like, when I play soccer.
Very good.
I can be able to work well with one of my teammates who I play next to.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, no, that's what collaboration is. So just to give you an example, I collaborated with an organization in my town this morning. I'm actually sitting in an art gallery. That's why you see lots of paintings around, okay? Lots of great paintings out there. And so I could host this meeting with you because I was traveling. And I met them last week and said, hey, I need a space where I can have a meeting with some students from around the world. I told them what part of your learning goals are around the environment, which they were also passionate about. And they said, sure, we'd love for you to use our space. That was collaboration. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Make
great,
sense?
Peter.
Okay. All right. Moving on, another important value, innovation. What is innovation?
If you don't know.
Okay, just 1 minute. The Botswana student actually wanted to say something and she just moved out. Botswana student, can you come forward? Because I don't want you to go back. You had come all the way in front to speak out. So we just want you to go ahead and speak. Yes, go ahead.
I think that collaboration is the way in which people work together to achieve a certain goal.
Wonderful, wonderful. How do you collaborate?
Like, I'm with a group of people and we're working on a way to create a solution for something. We have different ideas to enter in how we're going to achieve that solution.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Okay. And there is Joseph. Joseph also raised the hand. Joseph, go ahead and speak.
Well, I was raising a hand on behalf of the students, but if I'm to come in, I would say collaboration, that's when you are working with other people, like what he has rightly said, as a team. For example, if I'm a teacher, I can collaborate or I can work with other schools, like in Florida or here in Botswana, for us to achieve a particular topic, for example, the objectives that are set.
Absolutely.
That's collaborating. And if I'm to go in the minds of the young ones, if they are playing a game of any kind, say chess, if it's a team game, so it means they can work together in order to win the other competitor. That's collaboration.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Joseph.
There is still a student who wanted to say something regarding the same.
Go ahead, come on, come forward.
I was going to say innovation is coming up with an original idea to make people's life better.
Oh, so you're talking about innovation. Peter, we're talking about the next one. Peter, innovation.
Oh, can you repeat that? I didn't hear that. What's innovation?
Coming up with an original idea to make people's lives better.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great job. Anyone else?
Yes.
Tell me, what I'd like to hear is, not only the definition of what innovation is, but an example of how you have contributed to innovation, if that's possible. Okay.
Well, in our days, people in our days are called innovation nation, So we are creative people in 2020. There's a lot of creative people around the world, and especially in technology. So every day we comes up with a new innovation in an invention. I mean, new invention. We discover something new, something weirdo, something like robots, like PCs, like anything.
Okay. All right. That's good. Thank you. Anybody else who has innovated? Anyone who has created something new?
Hi.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, last year I participated in a maths and science fair where I was able to create a battery using copper coins and vinegar.
Right. Excellent.
That's
excellent.
the way.
Yep.
That's the way I've innovated.
That's excellent.
Excellent. Yep. Absolutely. So, and again, what I'm trying to say to you, I mean, all of these words I'm sharing with you, I believe you are doing this already. Okay. And the importance of innovation is really more is also about embracing change. Okay, celebrating and recognizing that things aren't going to be the same always. Okay, and we need to be always looking for opportunities to do things smarter in less time. Yeah. In ways that bring new opportunities or new resources into play. Okay. So innovation can also be about how you spend your time. Yeah. So when it goes back to your own individual management, yeah, innovation may be about what time you decide you're going to do your homework or how you're going to revise for a test. That can be innovative too. Okay. Because if it's a new approach for you, that's innovation in your life. Yeah. So innovation isn't just about technology. It can also be about your behavior. Yeah.
Yes. Well, as a student, I'm so interested in languages like Spanish, German, Russian, also Mandarin Chinese. Every day I try to use the application Duolingo to practice a new language because I'm so interested in. So this is something new in my life, which I love it and I adore it.
Excellent. That's great.
Okay, Anthony had raised his hand, so Anthony, go ahead, speak.
Yes, I just wanted to add on to what Peter was saying about doing things differently. You know, I mean, completely the COVID-19 pandemic has completely changed the way we used to do things. So when you were speaking, it was just bringing my mind to now we need to adapt to new ways of doing things. Like now we do more of Zoom meeting than physical meeting. So that I just wanted to add that, to share that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right. We're actually innovating right now, right? Yeah, that's great. No, that's definitely very, very relevant. But I think, again, as a value, it's really important for you not to get comfortable with things just being the same all the time. Yeah. You need to be able to embrace change. You need to be excited about change. And you need to be leading change as an innovator. All right. And so when you begin to look at, collectively at the values we discussed, whether it be about focusing on what people are good at, whether it be about collaborating, whether it be about innovation, if you look at how those three things interrelate, okay, you can't help but innovate if you're focusing on what it is that we're good at. If you're working together with someone, new ideas are going to come. All right. So moving on. This is one that you mentioned quite a few times, but I'm going to ask us to look at it again. Integrity, yeah? Everyone talked about being truthful and honest, yeah? Tell me how you demonstrate your integrity. Yeah, tell me how you demonstrate your integrity.
Okay, Botswana, you're coming. Botswana student, go ahead.
Yes, Joseph speaking. Yes, integrity is doing things even when there is no one seeing you. So at the level of our learners now, meaning that even when the teacher is not in the class, they are actively involved and they are doing the work that they are given when there is no one seeing them. That is what I can zero down to the lowest level of understanding the term integrity.
Okay.
Thank you, Joseph. And Anthony, you have raised your hands too.
Yes. I just wanted to add that also, beyond keeping to what you said you would do when people are not watching you, when you are also, for example, we have this scheduled meeting for this time. Your punctuality to be able to keep to that time, not keeping the other person waiting. I think that also can be seen from an
absolutely
point of view, not keeping the other person waiting.
Absolutely, thank you. Anyone else? How do you show your integrity?
Anthony, you've raised your hands, go ahead.
Yes, I try to show my integrity by keeping to my commitments. I'm part of a team, part of a group work, and assignment has been given to everybody. I try to keep to my own part and to keep to my deadline.
Okay.
Well, I must be a good leader when I be a trustworthy person and a reliable person who people can rely and lean on me, and being an honest person. That's how I could express integrity for me.
Yes. So another important part of integrity is also about acknowledging when you get things wrong. Yeah.
There is a new. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
And and to own up and take responsibility for the things that you don't get right. That's part of integrity too, yeah?
Okay, the New Guyana School has raised their hands. Go ahead.
A very good morning to the panel.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Guyana, South America. We're the New Guyana School. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, our motto at school is excellence and integrity. And the Bible says clearly that a good name is better than silver and gold. And we stress tremendously on integrity. I remember also I was studying how the Japanese do school. And I read that from grade 1 up to grade 4, they teach only manners and integrity. And I just want to explain to us that that is most important, because that is what will take the children and the young people further. And it embraces education tremendously. Without integrity, we are not able to collaborate, because the integrity is what will take us further.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so integrity is about honoring your commitments. Yeah. And honoring your commitments is, yes, when the teacher leaves the classroom should run better than when the teacher's not there. That's tough though, isn't it? All right.
Okay, so just wanted to welcome the Paragon International School from Cambodia that just joined in.
Okay, welcome. Not compromising your ethics and moral principles. Yeah, that's part of your integrity. Yeah. So remember we talked earlier about being truthful with yourself. Yeah. That's probably the first phase of integrity, about you being honest with yourself. Okay.
Okay, there are two people who have raised their hands. One is the New Guyana School, and I also see the Botswana student waiting to speak. Go ahead. So first, let me ask the Botswana student who's actually in front to go ahead and speak, and then the New Guyana School.
I think integrity is about being a leader as long as you're doing it the right way.
Okay, all right.
Okay, New Guyana School.
No, sorry, I didn't take my hand down after the first question that I answered.
Oh, sorry, this is okay, go ahead.
My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Peter, go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. So we've all got integrity, or if not, we're all striving for it. Okay. All right. Accountability. What is accountability? How are you accountable? How are you accountable? Who are you accountable to? If you can respond to that.
Go ahead, New Guyana School.
Firstly, thank you. Firstly, I think just as integrity, as somebody said earlier, integrity is doing the right thing when no person is looking. And sometimes when no person is looking, that's when we often make lots of errors, because we measure our self-discipline by being reactive when someone is there as that observer. So our integrity or lack thereof is affected by the presence of people. So to take it a bit further, we need to understand that we firstly have to be accountable to God, whatever being you assume as God.
Right.
And when we are accountable to God, because he is present when no person might be. We have that accountability to him, and being accountable to him, we end up practicing that accountability, and it rolls over and influences our integrity. So I push myself to be accountable to God first. So regardless if persons are there or not, I know his presence is there. And because he is there, I want to be honorable to him. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you. Anthony from Nigeria, go ahead, teacher from Nigeria.
Okay. I want to look at it from the perspective of government. You know, government get elected, and they are, while they are campaigning during the election, they have some manifestos. They have some manifestos which they have shared with the citizen. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to provide electricity. I'm going to make the health sector better. And at the end of the day, they come up with budgets, and you don't see these things. You don't see these things in place. So I'm looking at it from the perspective that for you to be accountable, you would have been entrusted with the responsibility that you need to discharge, you know, either socially or financially, that you'll be able to report back. Okay, you have been given this tax to do, or you have a social contract with the citizen, then you're also able to come back and explain how you have been able to discharge that responsibility.
Right.
Excellent. And Joseph, you've raised your hands. I believe is there a student from Botswana who would like to speak? Go ahead.
I think accountability is taking responsibility for one's actions.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, there's another student who wants to speak. Go ahead.
I think accountability is how you take responsibility for your actions and how you respond to a certain situation. I mean, how you explain your actions.
Very good. Thank you.
Mr. Petter, I want to express what accountability is, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, please.
I want you to tell me how you are accountable.
Okay. When I make mistakes and I blame others for my mistakes, it's from foolishness. I mean, to do that, right?
Say that one more time.
When I make a mistake and I blame others for my own mistakes, it means like when things go topsy-turvy and I blame others for what actions I did, it's from foolish, you know? It's a psychological problem for me, I mean.
Well, that's not integrity, is it?
No, I'm not talking about integrity. I mean, when things go topsy-turvy and you make mistakes and things goes wrong and you blame others for what did you do, just to not take the responsibility of being wrong, right?
Right.
It means to not be an accountable person. That's it, right?
Yes, that's not being, that's not.
You have to take, so we have to take a responsibility for our own actions.
Absolutely, yes.
That's
absolutely. Yeah, you do need to. Very good. Yes, so again, that's another important value. As I said, before you can lead anyone else, okay, you have to be able to demonstrate your own accountability for what it is that you're responsible for, okay? So for you young people today, you're accountable, okay, to the people in your classroom, your peers, co-students in the room. You're accountable to your teacher. Your teacher is also accountable to you, yeah? Your principal is accountable to you. You're accountable to him or her also, all right? You're also accountable to mom and dad. Mom and dad are also accountable to you. Yeah. Yes, there's different power relationships in that accountability, but that accountability is really built on trust, respect, okay, transparency, okay, and good communication, all right? Again, an important value if you're going to lead yourself successfully, or if you're going to lead a team of people, or you're going to head up an organization or a government. That accountability is a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. And that's the most important thing that you need to remember. It's how are we all responsible and accountable for each other's collective success. Yeah? So it's not a one-way street. It goes both ways. All right. Diversity and inclusiveness. What does that mean? Diversity and inclusiveness. I think that's an important leadership value.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes. Diversity and inclusiveness. We can look at it in the perspective of the different people that will be working together with the different beliefs, different political ideologies, and you are all wanting to achieve one thing, irrespective of the different opinions that you have. I'll give an example, like South Africa during the time of apartheid. Nelson Mandela was working with so many people who had different views. The Indians, the Africans, the Europeans, the Boers, and others. But at the end of the day, they all wanted to get unity, peace, and the independence of the different people who had different views. And no wonder it is called the rainbow of Africa. Yes. Right. Thank you very much.
Anthony, you have raised your hands. Go ahead and speak.
Yes, I also want to share, I mean, from the Nigerian experience. You know, we are a country of about 200 million, and we have so many different tribes, you know, from different parts. And all those tribes, and if you have, for example, now if the president is from the northern part of the country, maybe the Senate leader will be from the southern, just to try and balance the equation. So for me, diversity and inclusiveness is basically carrying everybody along, you know, so that everybody will be on the same plate. In that regard, we have here what they call Federal Character Commission. That commission tries to make sure that any appointment or any agency that is employing, it has all the states are represented to make it inclusive.
Right. Exactly.
Okay,
thank you.
Student from Botswana, go ahead.
Diversity is the way we accept each other for our differences.
Can you be a little closer to the mic so that we can hear you?
I think diversity is the way that we accept each other for our differences and work together to achieve a certain goal.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you. So I don't want to give any particular value any greater weight than the other, but this is an important one because we are such a diverse world. But even in your own setting, whether it be a room where you're the only person but responsible for lots of things, or in a classroom of 10 where you may have different views or different experiences, diversity and inclusiveness is really moving from a perspective where your belief and value is that creating a diverse and inclusive organization is the best kind of organization that you can create. So one that doesn't have that as a value is not going to be best positioned to serve one, if not all the needs, the majority of needs of communities that you live in, all right? And if they fail that particular value in a significant way, they will not achieve their goals, is the bottom line, yeah? So for me, diversity and inclusiveness is really about a starting point. It's a base value. It's really saying, in order for us to effectively meet and serve the needs of a customer, whether that be a business customer, whether it be a classroom, whether it be a government, whether it be your private business, you really have to look for the most diverse and inclusive approaches in order to create and solve the real challenges of this globe. So the reason why we're talking about leadership values today is, you know, a central part of our focus, again, with Green Contributor, is really looking at how we manage ourselves in our environment. And these are the values that I've shared with you this morning, is what I believe is going to be a vital starting point in order for you to lead and manage your own life well, but also as you become adults, our young people, all right? My hope is that you take these values forward with you, okay? I hope you took time to note them down, okay? That you are focused on the strengths of yourself as an individual. Know what you're good at. If you don't know what you're good at as yet, okay, that might be a workshop, George, that we might want to offer in the future, all right?
Absolutely.
You know that, you know, in order to be a good leader, you have to be able to collaborate and work well with others, okay?
Okay,
you know,
so
you're gonna,
go ahead, Peter,
sorry.
go ahead.
You know you're gonna get comfortable with change and be able to innovate, okay? You know you're gonna have integrity in terms of how you work with others, but also how you talk to yourself. You're gonna be accountable, again, starting with yourself, okay? What are you committing to in your life and following through on that? And yeah, the best teams are the most diverse ones and the ones that includes everyone's view at the table in order to determine the kinds of solutions that will be best moving forward. Thank you, George.
Okay, so let me just first brief you, even though we reached the end of the program, because we had some schools that joined in later. So today we really had a very diverse set of schools and teachers and students who participated. Just to give you an example, and this is an excellent starting point, we had a representation from Botswana, from Cambodia, from Tunisia, from Nigeria, from Morocco, from, of course, I spoke Tunisia was there, from Turkey, from UAE, from India, from Guyana, and we also, of course, obviously, US and Canada. And in between, we just had, you know, one or two participants who came in and dropped out, probably could be the internet connections. So now, yes, that means that we really had a diverse audience that available today. And our intention here was for us to understand what are the core values that a leader should have. What are the core values you as students and as a school can bring forward to this global initiative? Now, yes, the next thing obviously is, of course, we had given challenge on how you would be looking forward to address an important issue, which is on plastic pollution, which is something that has really been of concern for everybody. And in fact, today in about 3 hours time, we do have another TED Talk that is going to happen with some very famous presenters and speakers who will be there, including CNN's, one of the CNN analysts who's also going to be speaking on there. So what we really want you to do here is use this opportunity as students and as teachers who've joined us for this program to work together, to collaborate together on our program on addressing the issue of plastic pollution, which is at this stage, that's our first topic. And the student, we had asked some of the schools who joined in last time, we had asked them to create artwork from the waste that they can collect out of the single-use plastic waste of their food and cuisines that they make at home for the next 2 weeks. So it's not any plastic, but specifically single-use plastic from the food that you prepare. That means, okay, you go out and buy your things from the market. Anything that happens to be single-use plastics and that you do not use, collect it and then start to make an artwork. And then what we're going to do is we will try to see how this can be, we can collaborate together and add to each school's project by working together with the other schools. And at some point of time, if this really works out to be big, it might end up at a museum in some countries, or it could even be something that can be a traveling artwork. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. And the second thing here is, okay, this is just the first of our series of leadership workshop. Now there is the next part, which we did mention, and Peter definitely is an expert in that, is the transition part. Because obviously you have identified your core values. Of course, you work on that. But then there would always be students or teachers who would always have that fear or that anxiety of taking that step forward. And that's where Peter would definitely be of value. Peter would bring in his experience on helping you students and teachers to move forward to take that step. Peter, would you like to add?
Yes, what I would love the opportunity to do is really talk about the challenges around managing change. Yeah. Because that's one of the biggest challenges facing our globe today, is really about how we manage change, and if we're able to manage change in a way that's sustainable, i.e. successful. And I would love to be able to share an approach with you that I think that could impact not only your personal life, but the lives of people who are around you, and indeed potentially your organization, your school, and indeed your business. So if there's an opportunity to do that, I would love to create that opportunity for you.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay.
We would like to give the next 2 or 3 minutes to any of the participants who would like to share their comments or any views before we end our session. Is there anybody who would like to say anything?
Yes.
Please.
Yes, I mean, I found this very, very innovative and very useful. I found it very interesting, and like school have reopened here, so I'm going to work towards reconnecting. I'm getting students to participate in future edition, not minding our unreliable internet services, but I must commend this has been very useful for me, and I'm sure the student would enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And anybody else who would like to share?
Yes, please.
Please go ahead.
I just wanted to say this was a good Zoom session. It is really beneficial as usual. And personally, I'm looking for the criteria of a good leader because I want to express myself always in all the seminars, whatever seminars are they, even around the world. And it's a good opportunity that we must take advantage from it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, girlfriend. Well, I do have a comment from Paragon who said, thank you very much for the informative session from California, from Cambodia. That's the school from Cambodia. And of course, yes, the New Guyana school, we really appreciate your time to come over. Yeah, the school is going to open from Monday for online classes. So that's an awesome thing. Yes, we definitely would like to collaborate. Okay, go ahead, New Guyana school, you have raised your hands. Go ahead and speak.
Thank you again. I just want to express our gratitude to the presenter and to you especially for putting together this program, and I'm looking forward for more collaboration between us and the initiative. So again, hats off to you and your team. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much. I see the Botswana school waving. I really appreciate that. It was wonderful. You know, I mean, I really appreciate the students coming over and asking all the questions. That was quite impressive. And yes, you took on the challenge. When some of the timings are very odd in some countries, but they still manage to come and come for the program. Is there any more comments or anybody else who would like to say before we say goodbye for today? Okay. Yeah, Joseph, go ahead, please.
Yes, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of our school, Delta Waters International School here in Botswana, to thank you very much for this wonderful exercise that we are undertaking, the participation. And special thanks to you, George Koshe and Peter Phillips, and all the other members, colleagues who are participating in this new normal. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I also have a message from the Indian teacher. It says enriching session. Thank you so much. Really appreciate Sangeeta. Yes, you as one of the teachers have been very much instrumental in many of our past programs. We look forward to continuing having the collaboration with you. Yes, go ahead, please. There is one more. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, a colleague of mine wants to say something.
Please, go ahead.
Yes. Hello, how are you?
Well, you're fine. Thank you so much. Really, go ahead. I really appreciate your time.
Yes. I'm Mrs. Covey.
Hi, Ms. Covey. Welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. And I really appreciate all your programs. I've been not actively participating, but I hear a lot about them. Sorry. And I also would be I'm really enthusiastic to join your STEM programs.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, we wanted to share with you, now that you all are here, there is a new program that we are going to start. And this is completely new. Students who are registered for our program will be able to have direct access to a server in US with a STEM school. And the students will be able to work on artificial intelligence and can also make apps without even knowing programming and coding. So this is something, and again, as you just mentioned, Gofran did mention that, okay, everybody is very innovative, they love technology. This is an opportunity for students from middle school, high school, and even universities. And this is one part of the program. The second part of the program is, yes, we would also give you opportunity to collaborate on an exchange that can be 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or a semester on a course with one of the oldest schools in USA, which is also a blue ribbon school. So that is another opportunity that we would be offering. The students would get credits and certificates for being part of the program. So these are completely new programs that will be starting from January of 2021. Not many schools around the world have this opportunity. So that's something that I just want to share, but we only would like to give it to those schools and students who are registered for the program, because we don't want to give it to anybody else. It is strictly kind of, based on registrations. Go ahead if there is any questions that you would like. I mean, I would definitely be sharing more information to the schools about this. There are many STEM schools out. In fact, the school from Cambodia, Devlet, thank you so much. You're also here. There is a STEM, there is a group of schools out there. So that's another thing. We missed out the school from Kenya and Laos. They were the ones who were supposed to be joining us too. Yes, that's also a STEM collaboration that we're looking at.
Well, thank you, Mr. George. It's muted.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We would be awaiting to join you in the STEM programs.
Wonderful. Thank you, Peter. I really appreciate your time. I know you've taken your time, and I can see that you already got on your car. So that's the time management. I really appreciate that. Okay, so bye to everybody. So we will be sending you the details of our next workshop soon, and we hope that you could join our program. Wish you all the best and enjoy the rest of the evening and the day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.